Hello and welcome to my review of Darnath Lysander for Imperial Fists for Space Marines for Warhammer 40,000 from Games Workshop. Lysander will cost you £28 and consists of 17 plastic components, which means he costs the same price as Athon Sharn, the Chapter Master of the Raven Guard, but consists of 15 components fewer. Sharn consists of 32. Sharn is out of stock, but Lysander isn't. So make that what you will. The format of this review is as normal, so we'll take a look at Lysander up close. We'll look at the detail, look at the spare part, because there is only one spare part, and that's his alternate head option. We'll go through some size comparisons with other minis, including some Horus Heresy Imperial Fists Praetors, including the Big Daddy Praetor, and of course with some Terminators. And then at the end, we'll go through all of his 10th edition 40k rules. Now, it was such a coincidence that in my live stream of building him and Sharn that I made a point about me waiting ages and ages for the Assault Terminators. You know, 10th edition's been out well over a year now, and the larger Primaris size Terminators have been out for a year, and we still haven't had any Assault Terminators, you know, so the Terminators with the Thunderhammers and the Storm Shields and also the Lightning Claws. Well, the day after, Games Workshop made an announcement, and we're getting them. So Lysander won't be around for too long without some brothers with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields, and they do look very, very good. Of course, I just wish that there were some Imperial Fist specific units for 40k, and maybe we'll get an upgrade or accessory sprue for Imperial Fist. But anyway, I digress. Let's have a look at Lysander. And here he is. Try and get you a macro shot. He's an alright looking mini. I mean, I am nitpicking at this point, but I wish he was kind of walking up some rocks rather than like walking down. I'm not quite sure on the shield tilt as well. It's very much of an action pose. I'm not sure on the size of the hammer. I mean, it's still in the same, is it the Fist of Dawn? Not the Hammer of Dawn, the Fist of Dawn. I think it's still in the same kind of scale as the original one, which I will show you in a moment. You know, like it's a comparative scale, it's a comparative size to him compared to his previous model. One thing I will say is his cloak has had a glow up. Definitely it's larger for some reason. It covers more of the Terminator armor. There's bits of icons and things on there. It's still a bit of a pain to put on. You can see I have not filed the join specifically. I put some Tamiya there to hide the join, but I need to file that as well. Everything else was okay to tidy up. The head went in there. I've gone for the helmeted version. There's some nice detail. There's fists everywhere, including a nice little touch. There's a fist under that fist, like a double fist. You can choose to put this plate on or not, but I think it definitely suits Lysander, and actually his older model, his OG model, had that too. His shield is quite similar to his previous shield. You know, it has a fist, it has the double-headed eagle. It now adorns this purity seal. It's just tidier and bigger, and you know, there's that. Of course, the OG model didn't have a helmeted head option at all. This one does, and it's just got a little skull on there. The Crux Terminatus, I think it is still called, that is pretty much the same than on the older model. And of course, he's now got this cloak keeper icon. The Fist of Dawn is similar, but I definitely prefer like the full fist and gauntlet version of the old one, and I'll show you that in a moment. And then he's had a a change of Iron Halo, I think. This time it's got a fist. So many fists on this model, really is. Still got a scroll there, nameplate, but of course he's now got this new kind of scenic base thing, which will, you know, increase his height compared to, you know, the Assault Terminators that are coming out. So overall, he's had a bit of a glow up. Definitely brought him in line with the new Terminators, size and look, and you know, all the rest of it. So yeah, there's nothing more for me to do other than compare him to, other than to show you the spare part right here. So this is the head. So that is Darnath Lysander's spare head. And then we'll start off with the size comparisons. First of all, I just want to give you a comparison with the older model on the left. So this was the OG model. I think he was about £7 or £8 back in the day. He's full metal. He's heavy. He still holds up. It'd still look all right next to some old Terminators. But yeah, you can just see that, you know, the Primaris effect has increased his size a fair bit, increased his armor. The shield is absolutely huge. The shield is kind of almost as big as he is. It's much more effective storm shield now. And then the hammer has just increased in size. So yeah, what used to be the Fist of Dawn isn't anymore. It's kind of like a new hammer that's been forged, if you look at it that way. But I prefer the gauntlet fist of the previous one. And I prefer the pose, kind of him judging, of him kind of moving forward, holding that tiny little shield in front of him. Whereas this one is like, it's a typical, yeah, 10th edition 40k action pose, you know, with a shield at an angle for some reason and him holding his hammer back. He's not actually doing anything. He's just kind of creating a pose, not actually doing anything. I would have liked to have seen him actually kind of, you know, moving forward. I think there's a better pose rather than this, but there we go. And you can see the difference with the cloak as well. Cloak is way better, but you know, hides a bit of the model. That's him next to older Lysander. Compared to the other new mini that came out, Aethon Shan, gives you an idea of how tall Aethon Shan is on this kind of rock. So if you're thinking about getting either one of these two models and you wanted to see how they kind of measured up, Aethon Shan is definitely taller, but Lysander is thicker, you know. And you could proxy him as a, you know, Assault Terminator captain or sergeant, possibly, with the new set that's coming out. This would be a good base for that set as well. So comparing him to a couple of other Imperial Fist minis that I have, this is Horus Heresy though, so, you know, not Primaris, but there is Sigismund. I'm not sure whether that's worth a comparison, but yep, there is the OG Black Templar. So yeah, that would still work. I still think that would be okay. But there's that. Then we have the very big, this is the biggest Praetor I have, the OG Imperial Fist one. You can't get this one anymore, and he's pretty much kind of the same size. Yeah, he's, you know, if he was on that scenic base, he would be very similar size. Then we've got a normal Imperial Fist Praetor, which is, yeah, kind of very small, but might work. Just for comparison, I do have a Death Guard Praetor as well. Yeah, so there's those. I do not have Rogel Dawn, so I can't give you a comparison with him, unfortunately. But I can give you a comparison with some 40k Terminators. So there you go. That's where he stands next to those. He's going to be a little bit taller than them. I mean, the one with the Cyclone Missile Launcher is not as tall, but yeah. So he's going to go very well with the Assault Terminators. Compared to a Redemptor Dreadnought, why not? So yeah, that's where he measures up next to one of those. And then I might as well, just because I have him in the background, a Saturnine Dreadnought. So the last size comparison I'd like to make is just with the usual 3 minis. So we have a Primaris, we have Standard Space Marine and Sly Marbo, and kind of compared to a Primaris, yeah, that's about right. But yeah, compared to a normal Space Marine, very small now. And that's what I would have expected, you know, Terminators to be compared to standard Space Marines, really. Probably is a little bit too big. But yeah, compared to old Sly Marbo there, tiny now. Okay, so this is my part of the review where I will go through all of his rules. I'm not even sure about his points cost, but you can find his rules on the Warhammer community website. So first of all, I'll just go through his stat line. He's a movement speed of 5 inches, toughness 5, save of 2+, and a 4+ invulnerable, 7 wounds, leadership 6+, and objective control 1. He's equipped with 1 Fist of Dawn, not Hammer of Dawn or anything like that. So it doesn't have any ranged weaponry at all, not even a pistol, nothing. It's hammer time for Darnath Lysander. This Fist of Dawn has devastating wounds. It has 5 attacks, weapon skill is 2+, strength is 10, armor penetration is -3, wish it was -2, I wish it was -4, and then damage of 3. Abilities, he has Deep Strike and Leader, and faction ability, Oath of Moment. He also has Icon of Obstinacy, or Obstinacy I think it is. Each time an attack targets this model's unit, if the strength characteristic of that attack is greater than or equal to the toughness characteristic of that unit, subtract 1 from the wound roll. That's pretty nice. So if the strength is you know, equal or greater than 5, basically, then you're taking 1 off the wound roll. Rampart. Once per battle at the start of any phase, this model can use this ability. If it does until the end of the phase, this model has a 2+ invulnerable save. That's, yeah, incredible. You can only do that once per battle though. This model can be attached to the following units: Terminator Assault Squad and Terminator Squad, and the keywords Infantry, Character, Epic Hero, Imperium, Terminator, Captain, Darnath Lysander, Adeptus Astartes, Imperial Fists. So there you go. I think that there's something missing with him. I kind of get that impression with a lot of 40k units, but yeah, I think there's something missing with him. The 2+ invulnerable is nice, but once per battle, and the subtracting 1 from the wound roll every time an attack targets the model unit is pretty nice. Of course, it's not going to affect anything at strength 4, because I think Terminator's toughness is strength 5, so it won't have any effect of kind of like weight of fire against them. But are you going to be having them in the open? You're probably going to put them in a Land Raider or have them in reserve ready to deep strike. I think he's an alright looking model. I still prefer the old model, but I wanted to get Lysander to show you for the channel and to give you my thoughts and opinions on him. What do you guys think? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.